Welcome to the Garfield Park Conservatory and Sunken Garden. I'm Linda Broadfoot. I'm your director of Indy Parks. It's always an honor to celebrate parks and the people who make them thrive, especially with a backdrop like this here at the conservatory. Today, we're not only applauding park spaces, we're unveiling an impressive digital Indy collection featuring parks throughout the years as we reflect and hopefully build upon ways parks impact our communities in such valuable ways. As our free summer meals, day camps, aquatics programs, and concerts and movies kick off for the summer, we're reminded that Indy Parks is committed to delivering the best services in the right places every single day. That's why coming here today means so much. Our partners at the Indianapolis Public Library and Ball State University will tell you more about the collection and how everything came together. And the full collection is now available at digitalindy.org. Many of the Indy Parks photos were taken by a gentleman named Rupert Daly, a longtime Indy Parks employee and a World War II veteran. Rupert joined Indy Parks in 1945, and for the next 48 years, he diligently captured parks, people, and our beloved spaces in such a spectacular way. Through his dedication to telling our story with photos and videos, we now have this magnificent collection. And while we continue to learn more about Rupert's life and dedication to our city's parks through conversations with his family, we are so grateful for his service and look forward to sharing his work with you. I extend special thanks to Lily Endowment for making the digital collection possible through a grant to the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation. And we thank Leah Siegel, who works with the endowment, for joining us today. Thank you, Leah. Thank you to the researchers, staff, and members of the Parks team as well for searching for and thankfully finding photos and other materials for the collection. It's a beautiful day to celebrate, well, sort of beautiful. Beautiful day to celebrate this new digital Indy collection and all the possibilities that come with it. Thank you so very much. And now it's my honor to invite my boss and our biggest park supporter, Mayor Joe Hogsett, to offer his remarks.
Well, every day is a great day to be in a park. Whether it's humid or raining, it is still a special day to enjoy the parks that 212 now, 212 parks in Marion County. You know, for many of us, our parks make us feel part of our community in a way that is distinct from really any other space. Parks are free to use. Check. They are welcome to all. Check. Didn't used to be, which is part of why capturing this history is revealing. And they are home to some of our most beautiful natural environments anywhere in Indianapolis. They are also some of the oldest landmarks in our city and its history. As such, parks history is our city's history. It is important that we preserve what we can of that history, not just for the sake of prosperity, but for any resident curious about the role parks have played in our city's development. With today's announcement, we can explore Indianapolis parks like never before. Thanks to the new collection at digitalindy.org, we can watch the evolution of the Garfield Park Conservatory, including the construction of this current facility over 60 years ago. We can look at hundreds of images of the original Broad Ripple Park swimming pool, which was the largest concrete pool on Earth at the time, in its day. Did you know that? The largest concrete pool on Earth in its day. We can also see the original Frederick Douglass Park stomping grounds of basketball legends like Big Mac, George McGinnis, and others. Plus, while there are tens of thousands of pictures, there are also critical documents and other material. While to some, these may seem a bit dry, they hold surprises. In the recorded minutes from a Board of Parks meeting in 1953, we find the name of attorney Frank R. Beckwith. Attorney Beckwith was representing the interests of black residents whose properties were being affected by park development. Later, that's a board meeting in 1953, okay? Later in 1970, we find minutes from another meeting wherein Salem Village Park is officially renamed after the late Frank R. Beckwith, who by his death in 1965 had become the first black man to run for the presidency of the United States for a major party in its primary. Items like these are central to a fundamental understanding of our history as a city. So let me close by offering my thanks to the Lilly Endowment and to the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation for making this collection possible. Likewise, thanks to all who painstakingly digitized this material. I can only imagine. Because of you, a richer understanding of Indianapolis is only a click away. So I want to thank you all for being here, and now it's my honor to introduce Roberta Jaggers, who in many respects serves in many ways, but she's here today in her role as president of the Indianapolis Public Library Foundation. Roberta. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Hogsett, and good morning, everyone. It is an honor to join my friend Linda Broadfoot and other city employees, friends from Ball State University, my library colleagues, and all of you to celebrate the Indy Parks and Recreation's new digital collection. For the past 200 years, Circle City residents have been raising families, earning livelihoods, serving their communities, and recreating. They have left traces of their lives in documents and in images and recordings kept by organizations, families, and individuals. In the years leading up to our city's bicentennial, the library and many other cultural heritage institutions anticipated increased demand for information about Indianapolis history. Committed to realizing the promise of our bicentennial, which is to be guided toward a thriving future through a better understanding of our past, we redoubled our efforts to make more primary source material widely and freely available through digitization. Thanks to a generous grant from Lilly Endowment, the library contributed to this effort by digitizing the archives of Indianapolis Public Schools, the Indianapolis Firefighters Museum, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, and our newest collection, Indy Parks and Recreation. You can find these and 86 other searchable collections on digitalindy.org. The Indy Parks and Recreation collection includes more than 16,000 photos, videos, and historical documents detailing the history of our vibrant park system. All digital Indy content may be printed or downloaded for free for personal use, study, or research. On behalf of my library and Library Foundation colleagues, I would like to certainly acknowledge longtime Indy Parks employee Rupert Daly for curating the thousands of photo negatives that comprise the bulk of our collection, and the library's own digital parks team for making this rich material available online. Finally, digitization projects are only possible with the collection owner's participation and trust. In this case, we were most fortunate to work with Ball State University. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Michael Shayevsky, Ball State University's Assistant Dean for Digital Scholarship and Special Collections. Michael?
Thanks so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here today to represent Ball State University Libraries. And firstly, I want to sincerely thank all of the librarians and staff and employees of both Indianapolis Public Library and Indy Parks and Recreation for your work in planning this event today. This is a really wonderful event, and I'm so thankful and humbled to have the opportunity to share about this truly remarkable archival collection. In my role as Assistant Dean for Digital Scholarship and Special Collections at Ball State up in Muncie, I oversee our archives program, which preserves and provides access to over 1 million primary source records of significant historical value. These collections preserve our invaluable and unique cultural heritage, and they are used frequently by students, scholars, community members, and professionals to explore the past, to create new knowledge, and to improve quality of place in our community and in our state. The physical Indianapolis Parks and Recreation Archive resides at the Andrew Seeger Archive of the Built Environment. This is a division of university libraries located in the Estopano College of Architecture and Planning up at Ball State University. The archive is a unique resource. It is dedicated to preserving the history of Indiana's built environment, and it contains over 130,000 original architectural drawings, landscape plans, blueprints, photographs, models, and building remnants. These records tell the stories of Indiana's buildings, sites, and structures, but also of Indiana's neighborhoods, Indiana's communities, and Indiana's people. Our collections are open for research to the entire community, local community, and the global community. Our archive also boasts over 30 digitized collections, which are openly and freely accessible, discoverable, searchable, and downloadable by researchers worldwide. In 2017, the Indianapolis Public Library reached out to us with a very generous offer and exciting opportunity. Using funds from the Lilly Endowment Grant, the public library would digitize an expansive collection of archival photographs and analog media from our Indianapolis Parks and Recreations archive. This collection was rich and vast in its extent and research value, containing over 15,000 photographs, films, and videos that document the rich landscapes, cultural histories, and social communities surrounding Indianapolis's parks throughout history. However, these photographic negatives, slides, and films in their obsolete physical formats were very challenging for researchers to use, and they lacked the detailed descriptive terms to allow for searching and discovery. So fast forward to 2021, and I was so impressed and thrilled by the incredibly thorough and detailed work of Indianapolis Public Library in building a complete digitized, fully searchable, openly and globally accessible online collection of this archival media. The digitized Indy Parks collection highlights the park's beautiful landscapes, versatile facilities, and rich history, but perhaps most importantly, the collection documents what a pivotal cultural and civic resource the city's park system has been throughout Indianapolis's history. The system has meaningfully enriched the quality of life for all residents across the city for generations, and this archive highlights the many educational events, recreational opportunities, arts programs, civic meetings, and community gatherings that have taken place on these grounds. The collection emphasizes the degree to which parks are vital democratic spaces in which community members of all walks of life can freely congregate, learn, celebrate, and organize. This collection is a historic testament to the value of both libraries and parks in enriching cultural and civic life here in our community. And now that the collection is digitized and online, these materials can be enjoyed by researchers, learners, community members, near and far, and young and old, who seek to explore, study, and appreciate this rich history. This research not only sharpens our understanding of the past, but can provide transformative learning opportunities in the present, reinforcing the significance of community building, democratic participation, and historical reflection as means of creating new knowledge and improving quality of place. So I encourage you to check out the collection. Do some searching, do some exploring. There's a really great history to be seen, learned about, and uncovered. I'm excited to do some more exploring myself. The 15,000 photographs, I certainly haven't had a chance to look through all of them in the time that it's been online. So I'm excited to do some learning myself. Thanks again for having me.
Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions or want to look more closely at the boards, that's it. Thanks for coming.